at least to the 14-year-old version of me. Now, the much wiser and more intelligent 18-year-old adult that I am would view the day in question as a series of comical and idiotic events that metaphorically take the place of a speeding car on a remote highway, and I would be the deer in the headlights, frozen and shocked, dim enough not to react to even the clearest of signals, and leaving my fate at the hands of the drunk, literally. So I've been a cheerleader for practically my whole life, and it was my passion for the sport, and yeah, it is a sport. It is. Plus, my impulsive need to follow the golden rule of 10 minutes early is 5 minutes late, which rewarded me with the coveted title of captain for my freshman team. Being captain placed a huge weight on my shoulders to be the best, the strongest, the most responsible, as well as placing a huge target on my forehead, and all of my teammates had perfect aim. Their ammo was their words, and they'd fire off bullets such as bitch when I made the team do push-ups when one girl was late, or stupid bitch when we had to run an extra lap due to a less than worthy performance. I know that their choice of insults wasn't as varied, but then again, did you really expect anything more from a group of girls whose main concern was not being equipped with a sufficient amount of hairspray? Probably not, but their words still stung, and I had to constantly remind myself that I am 14, and it is genetically required to feel like crap, and those rotten teammates of mine were just as stupid. And I proved to be right. They became even more stupid than I could possibly think. It was the day of the biggest game of the year, our rival game, and because of a lackluster practice that we presented the day before, our coach made us have an extra practice that afternoon, during the time where we would have been beautifying ourselves for the Friday Night Lights. This, of course, rubbed the girls the wrong way, and because my coach didn't step out of her office until I completed the task of warming up and stretching out the girls, I was faced to the angry mob alone. Now, I was so scared, and they kept calling me names, so I just caved and said, fine, coach won't be here for 30 minutes, we could forget about the run, forget about conditioning, we'll just, do a super light stretch, go take a 15-minute break. This pleased them, and I thought that maybe that their nickname for me of bitch would slowly fade to just idiot. But the break went on, and the girls came back, and we began to change into our practice clothes. One girl opened her bag, and I saw an empty bottle. I didn't think anything of it. And I didn't even think anything of it when her and her two sidekicks, who as a group I have deemed the three bimbos, wobbled their way to our practice unit, even wobbly than Captain Jack Sparrow. Seriously. Our coach approached, and she told us to warm up our stunts. 3 girls were shaking and fidgeting around, and back then, before I became the tall tree that I am today, I used to fly, and of course the 3 idiots were my faces, the only thing standing between me and the ground. I jumped in, and I hit the top, where I'm supposed to smile, wave, stand there a few minutes, do some spirit fingers. Bimbo number 2 is trembling. She drops a few inches, and then that forces all my weight onto the other girl. She starts shuffling on the ground, and eventually the whole stunt just collapses, and I fall flat on my back. Now, the wind is knocked out of me, so it takes a few seconds before I'm able to do anything except gasp for air. My coach rushes to my side, and my head is pounding, and as I go up to touch it and move my hand away, my fingers are dripping with blood. Bimbo number 1 is greener than Gumby, and she proceeds to vomit. And because of the alcohol, she wasn't spot on aim, so instead of getting a complete downpour on me, I luckily just got showered with her stomach contents. My sister, who's on the team, she goes to get her phone and call my parents, and some other girl runs to the office to tell them, and I explode and start screaming at them. The only reason why you guys dropped me on my head was because you were drunk. They were so under the influence that Lindsay Lohan would have scored a level above them. I go all types of ghetto that my white girl appearance would allow me to, which isn't very much. But I'm taken to the emergency room. They're taken to the principal's office. I had to get 5 stitches in my head, and they got breathalyzed. Needless to say, they were kicked off the team and heavily persuaded to voluntarily remove themselves as students from the school. But I went to the game that night and sat miserably between my mom and my dad with a stupid, ugly bandage padded against my head. And I sat there in silence as I took the dirty stares and glares that their posse aimed my way. And they repeatedly mouthed the word bitch in my direction. And it was the worst day ever.